Okay. Good morning, students. Yeah, how are you? I hope you are fine and safe. So today I am going to make second video, Day 2 state syllabus, first unit. I have already made one video on introduction of first unit, first lesson. Attitude is attitude. I told you the meaning of attitude in the last class. See, attitude means here the way we respond to certain people, the way we behave, the way we talk, the way we accept failures and success in our life. So that is called as attitude. And your attitude, your good attitude will definitely make or take you to a great position in life. That is called as attitude. Attitude means a great elevation or a top position. So see, I asked you to write textbook meanings. I hope you have written, and get ready with your textbooks and notebook. If you have any strange words in this lesson, I can let you write in your notebook. So are you ready with the textbooks and the notebooks? Yeah, look at this one. See, here we have three great personalities. Here the left side in the motivation pictures. Here one is a great Bharatanatyam dancer, Sudha Chandran. Here Stephen Hawking, a scientist, and here Helen Keller, a great personality who is deaf, maybe a dumb also. So you have to gather information about these three personalities. You can write valuable information about the first personality, Sudha Chandran, and second personality, Stephen Hawking, and third personality, Helen Keller. Do you understand? So gather information from internet and write in your notebook by putting Sudha Chandran, her information. Next, Stephen Hawking, his information. And thirdly, you can write about Helen Keller. Right? You can write somewhere, in this unit, wherever you want. Okay? And we go to the lesson. See, attitude is attitude. The main character, this lesson is the life story of a motivational speaker, a torso, a great man. See the word torso. We have written torso means here the main body without, not including limbs. 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 Limbs means both hands and legs. So the body without hands and legs is called as a torso. It's very important meaning in examination point of view. Very important meaning. Torso means the main body without, not including hands and legs. He was a torso. He is a torso. His name, Nick Vujicic. Nick Vujicic. He is the central character and main character of the lesson. Attitude is attitude. This lesson is the life story, the struggles he faced, the problems he faced, and how could he overcome his struggles, his failures, and finally how he became successful, still going on as a successful motivational speaker in the world. One of the best motivational speakers in the world. Right? Nick Vujicic. See, second important meaning, club. Club means a heavy stick with one end heavier than the other. See, we have another meaning in Telugu also. Club means here, see, a heavy stick which is used to play the game or the sport golf. A golf stick. Next, adversity. Next meaning, adversity. Adversity means here difficulties, problems. Difficulties, the textbook meaning, a difficult or unpleasant situation. Adversity. Adversity, opposite word, prosperity. Adversity, opposite word, prosperity. See, one of the most important meanings, perseverance. Perseverance. Spelling, be careful of the spelling. Perseverance. Perseverance. Perseverance means, this is textbook meaning, the quality of continuing to try to get something, to achieve something despite difficulties. Despite means, see, despite means in spite of. In spite of. In spite of means though. Though. In spite of getting failures after failures. In spite of getting problem after problem. We try to get something. This trial is called as perseverance. And one more meaning. Chicken drumstick. Chicken drumsticks, you see, you may know chicken drumsticks. The lower part of, look at that, the lower part of the leg of a chicken or another bird that is cooked and eaten. That is cooked and eaten. The lower part of the leg of the chick or hen is called as chicken drumstick. You see, this is the best quality, perseverance of Nick Vedic. See, there are a lot of positive qualities in this lesson. Positive thinkings or positive qualities. How can we overcome our problems or difficulties by being positive? We can learn from this lesson, attitude is altitude. So, collect information about the three personalities. Sudha Chandran, the Bharatanatyam dancer from Tamil Nadu, who has lost have one of her legs, I think left leg in an accident, and second one a scientist, a famous scientist who recently died, and Helen Keller, who became the first BA degree holder, I think so, who is deaf and dumb. So collect as information about these three personalities. Once look at the lesson. I'm reading the lesson. Just get ready with the textbooks. Yeah. Yes. Imagine. See, we are, by God's grace, we are a complete man, a full-fledged man, full-fledged people, because we have a head is proper, eyes are properly working, nose is properly working, mouth is properly working, see, ears are properly working, total body is completely, correctly built, see, limbs are properly working, there is no disability. We are happy because God has given us everything proper. We must be very thankful to God first of all in this matter. See, having seen this person, see, he is Nick. You can see in your textbooks. This is a torso, Nick Vedic. See, having seen this person, we must be definitely thankful to God because He made us a perfect man. Imagine, look at that, imagine, first paragraph. Imagine having no arms to stretch in the morning when you wake up, to help you scratch when you itch, to allow you to wrap your arms around your loved ones. Imagine having no legs to kick pebbles down the street, or to walk, or to bicycle, or to skateboard, or to get you from point A to point B. Then imagine both at once, which is what Nick Vedic has faced his whole life. Have you heard something like this before in your life? There are three statements given in this paragraph. Imagine oneself as you were, having no arms. Having no arms. See, generally, why do we use arms? See, we use arms when we wake up early in the morning, we stretch like this. We stretch like this. And in what way we use arms? Not only stretching when we wake up, but also to help to scratch. You see, when something is scratched, when we scratch something, we have to use our hands. See, and when he is somewhere. See, if it is itching here, the places wherever a hand can be stretchable, it is easy. If it is itching here somewhere else, see, so we use our hands to scratch ourselves, to itch ourselves, to wrap. To wrap means here W-R-A-P. W-R-A-P. Wrap means to cover. To cover around something or someone. See, we use our hands to wrap around the beloved ones like babies or our friends, like. So we use our hands for different purposes. But imagine, he is asking, imagine once you have no arms. The second statement, imagine you have no legs. To kick the pebbles down the street when you go somewhere to somewhere, from somewhere to somewhere. See, we generally use kicking pebbles which come across our way. Imagine having no legs to kick the pebbles, or to bicycle, or to run, to walk, or to skateboard, or to swimming. It is very, very difficult for us. That's why we must be very, very thankful to God for giving us everything in a proper manner, proper development. Having seen this person, we must be. Two statements. Imagine having no arms to do all these things. Imagine no legs to do things. And third statement, imagine, you see, here we have one statement, or getting from point A to point B. That means here, imagine having no legs to run from here to there, from there to here. That is called point A from point B. And third statement, imagine that you don't have both hands, of course arms, both legs. Imagine you are a torso, if you are a torso. See, the life is very, very difficult for us. Very, very difficult for us. The people who have no arms or legs, who are physically disabled or mentally disabled, not only physically, mentally disabled people face a lot of problems. They feel something unpleasant when they look at normal people playing together. It's a curse. We think it's a curse, not a boon. It's a curse by God, we think. But here, this man, Nick Vedic, has made the curse as a boon, as a great opportunity. That's why he became one of the successful motivational speakers in the world. He has visited many countries. He's a guest. He's being called by universities to motivate people in the universities. How great he is. Really, we have very few people like this in the world who can make their adversities, their problems, their difficulties into prosperities. He's such a great man. He's such a great man. See, three statements. Imagine having no arms to do all these things, whatever. Imagine having no legs. Imagine both at once. Both means here having no arms, having no legs. We can understand. We can understand. I think we have seen so many people without hands and legs. Physically disabled, mentally disabled. Very, very difficult. And this is the life. This is the life means here. This is life without hands, without legs. Is the life which Nick Vedic has been since he was born. Since he was born. How difficult it was for Nick Vedic. How many problems he faced. And what kind of feelings his parents could have. You see, it's not only curse for the baby, Nick. It's also curse for the parents also. It's curse for both parents and children. Parents feel a lot. They may scold God for giving that kind of babies to them. He may scold God also for making him like that. See, it's a curse really. You see, we have an untold story about Nick, which is not given in our textbook, which is not disclosed anywhere. The untold story is, see, Nick's father was a computer programmer, accountant, computer programmer. His mother was a nurse. Nick's mother was a nurse. She was a nurse, and father was a computer programmer. She was pregnant. She was pregnant, and she did everything during pregnancy. She was pregnant. She was doing everything properly. I mean, taking medicine at a proper time, taking nutritious food, good habits. Everything she did very well during pregnancy. But at the time of delivery, she was admitted into the hospital. Nick's father was waiting just in front of the hospital. He was eagerly waiting for the upcoming baby. You see, every parent feels it's a great pleasure for him. You see, the baby was slowly coming out into the world. Nick's father saw the baby coming out without one arm. Without one arm. Having seen the baby coming slowly out without one arm, he thought that he is going to become a father for a physically handicapped person. He thought that he has not having one arm. Then immediately, without waiting there until the baby comes out completely, he came out of the hospital thinking, what's going on to me? I'm going to become a father for a physically disabled disabled baby. My son is being born without one arm. He thought, but he did not wait there. He did not know that no one, especially father, Nick's father, did not know that he was going to become a father for a torso. He did not wait there, that's why he did not know. So the baby was born. Finally, he came to understand, he came to know that. He came to know that his wife has given birth to a torso. Torso means here, the main body without no arms, no legs. He came out of the hospital vomiting. He could not digest the news. He could not digest the news. He blamed himself, he blamed his wife, he blamed the goddess. He scolded the God. Not only that day, every day. That's the case. He could not stay in the hospital. He came out of hospital. And his mother, I think Nick's mother was the first mother in the earth, on the earth, in the world, without touching the baby till 4 months. Until 4 months. See, the baby, of course, Nick was not touched for 4 months by his own mother, because she could not digest this news that she was the mother for a torso. Nobody can. Nobody touches. I think she is the mother in the world. She is the first mother in the world without touching her baby soon after it is delivered. See, his father also. Both of them started scolding themselves, blaming themselves. She blamed herself because she did everything exactly during pregnancy. But why they were given this kind of boy? It's a rare occurrence. Rarely happens. This is a disease of course. Phocomelia. It is called as phocomelia. Phocomelia. Phocomelia means it's a kind of disease. See, a congenital disorder of the limbs. A congenital disorder of limbs. Disorder of limbs. It's called phocomelia. It is rarely occurred disease. It happens, it comes, one person in a court. Courtలో మనకు ఒకరు వస్తారు. So it happens, you see, they had no visitors also. You see, it happens generally when someone gives a baby, a birth to a baby boy or a baby girl, his relatives, of course, their relatives come and wish them congratulations for giving a birth to a baby boy or baby boy. It happens, it's a general thing. But having given birth to this kind of baby, they had no relatives, they had no visitors, no one came, no one expressed their congratulations to them. So this also added to their adversity. She was on the bed. She was somewhat, for many days, she was unconscious. I think she was given anesthesia, that's why. But his father used to manage. His father used to manage that. See, when she was sleeping, he bought some flower bouquets. He himself bought some flower bouquets, and when she woke up, he used to tell her that someone came here. Your so and so, my so and so. They came here. They congratulated for giving this birth. See, when they came here, you were sleeping. I did not want to disturb you. That's why. But when wake up, they had gone. In this way, he of course, Nick Vujicic's father used to manage. Right? Later, they consoled themselves, especially Nick's mother consoled herself that it is no use of having arms and legs for a baby. In case, if it has arms and legs, it cannot walk or it cannot stand, it cannot run. It takes nearly 1 year to stand or to walk. So what is the use of having limbs? She thought. Then she took the baby and hugged him after 4 months. So what a curse it is. What an adversity they had faced. Nick's father, mother. Not only Nick's father, mother. Every parent who has given birth to this kind of disabled boys or girls are still facing a lot of difficulties. They have something in their heart. Right? We don't know that. We can't understand it because we are not like that. That's why. Okay? That's why I'm telling you. We must be very thankful to God for giving everything in a proper manner and correct order. Right? So after that, see, he was born with a small toe on his left hip. On his left side. Hip means here the place below the waist. Here. So there was a small toe. Two toes are joined together. They were inseparable. The doctors, at the time, after he was born, the doctors thought that if they could separate these two toes, when he grew up, he could be able to manage little things, they thought. Then they immediately started operation surgery. When they were doing surgery, his body temperature was too high. So to reduce his body temperature, the doctors put the small baby, the day's baby, on ice cubes. So finally, they succeeded in separating the two fingers on his left hip, by which he can now write, type, swim, could be managed little things in between the two toes. Once imagine, if the doctors had not separated the two fingers when he was born, now he could be facing a lot of problems. Of course, still facing a lot of problems, but his problems will be doubled. That was the best thing the doctors did. We should be always thankful to doctors also, because they help us in everything. Right. So this was the story. It was untold story. Okay, and yeah, first thing, first paragraph. Imagine ourselves having no arms, no legs at once. What? How can we manage? What is the situation of our life? The same problem. This problem. What problem? Having no arms, having no legs is called as phocomelia. Phocomelia means here a congenital disorder of limbs. It is a rarely occurrence, rarely happens. Right? Second, next paragraph. See, Nick Vasic was born with no arms or legs. But he does not let the details stop him. The brave 26-year-old who is mainly torso, plays football, golf, swims, surfs, despite having no limbs. See, he was born in Australia, Melbourne. He was born with no arms, no legs. But there is a sentence, he does not let the details stop him. Here we have a word, details. Look at, we have a word, details. But he does not let the details stop him. Nick was born with no arms, no legs, but he does not let the details stop him. Details means here, I think you understand, the disability. The disability. Having no legs, no arms, could not stop him from becoming a motivational speaker, could not stop him from doing his own things, could not stop him to become an independent, not dependent. Do you understand? Details means here his physical disability. So look at that. But he does not let the details stop him. The brave 26-year-old who is mainly torso, plays football, golf, swims, surfs, despite having no limbs. I have told you already, despite means in spite of having no limbs. Though he has no arms, no legs, he can play football, he can play golf, he can swim, he can type, he can surf, he can do most of the things. How it is possible? So this is called as perseverance. This is called as bouncing back. This is called bouncing back. So even though he has no limbs, even though he was a torso, he can do all these things. He was just 26-year-old a few years ago. Now he might be 33 or 34. Do one thing. I have given work for next class already, that is gathering or collecting information about Sudha Chandran, Stephen Hawking and Helen Keller. And you have to gather information about Nick's father. Who is Nick's father? Nick's mother. And he's a father also. Now Nick is a father of, I think, 3 or 4 children. Twins are also there. His wife, Khan and Miara. So do one thing. The family of Nick, you can write in a box in your notebook. Family. Nick's father name, Nick's mother name, Nick's wife name, Nick's children names. So you can. Yeah. Next one. We move to next one. Nick has a small foot on his left hip, which helps him balance and enables him to kick. He uses his one foot to type, write with a pen, and pick things up between his toes. Look at that. I have already told you, he has a small foot on his left hip. Toes, they call as toes. See, these are yes, these are fingers. These are fingers, of course, you know everything. The fingers of the leg are called as not fingers, they are called as toes. There are 2 toes on his left hip. He can use them. Look at the sentence. Nick has a small foot on his left hip, which helps him balance and enables him to kick. Underline the total sentence with pencil in your textbook. Nick has a small foot on his left hip, which helps him balance and enables him to kick. That means, with the fingers, with the toes on his left hip, which was separated by the doctors when he was born, he can manage. He can balance on the earth, and he can enables him. I mean, he can use the two toes to kick something. There are a lot of videos on internet about his videos. You can watch them whenever you have time. And he uses his one foot to tie, to write with a pen, or to pick things up in between his two toes. He can pick up things like this. He can pick up things like this. Like this. He can pick up things like this. He uses the two toes to type on a computer keyboard, to write with a pen, to carry two things in between them. He can do a lot of things with the two fingers. Do you understand? So underline the sentence, third paragraph, first sentence. Nick has a small foot on his left hip, which helps him balance and enables him to kick. See, he jokingly called the two toes on his left hip like this. I call it, it means here the small foot on his left hip. I call it my chicken drumstick. See, chicken drumstick means, I have told you, we have a meaning in textbook also. The lower part of a chicken or hen, which is being cooked and eaten as a food. He simply, I think they look like that. They appear like that. The two toes appear like that. That's why he jokingly called them, it is my chicken drumstick. And who was born in Melbourne, Australia, but now lives in Los Angeles. I would be lost without it. You see, Los Angeles. Though he was born in Melbourne, Australia, now he lives in America. Los Angeles is a place in Los Angeles, not Los Angeles is the pronunciation, correct pronunciation. Now he lives in America. See, look at the last statement, not the sentence. I would be lost. I'd be lost without it. I'd be lost without it. Look at that. I'd be lost without it means there. See, this is most of the times it is asked in examinations. I'd be lost without it. I'd be lost without it. So this is the paragraph afterwards. And here it means, it refers what in this sentence? I think you can understand. Just a minute. Yeah. See, it means here the two toes. The left, of course, the foot on his left hip it referred means the left, a small foot on his left hip, the two toes. Without the two toes, he can be of no use. He can be of no use. That's the meaning of the sentence. I'll be lost. I'll be of no use without my foot on my left hip. Right? And see, I think this paragraph is not given in your textbook. Due to his faith as an evangelical Christian, Nick has chosen to remain a virgin until marriage, although he had long-term girlfriends in the past. This paragraph is not given in the new textbook, it is old textbook. Next time I'll take a new textbook. See, he is an evangelical Christian, a true follower of Jesus Christ. He has decided to be a virgin. He has decided to be a virgin until marriage. You can understand. He decided to be a virgin until he gets married. He married. He had a lot of girlfriends also. Even though he was a physically disabled person, now still with a lot of fans, a lot of girlfriends also. See, he's very modest. He is very modest, but he gets marriage proposals from women all the time. Said Nick's friend and publicist still appealed from Los Angeles. I think this paragraph is also not given in your new textbook. You see, he was very modest. Modest means modest. M-O-D-E-S-T. Modest. Shy, feeling of shyness. Shy about showing much his body, right? Shy. Shy about showing much about his body, his posture, his position. So he was modest. And he had lot of proposal, marriage proposal also from lot of girls. One of his friends said, and he would love to get married. Next paragraph, he would love to get married and start a family, but is waiting for the right girl to come along. He wanted to be married, but he has a doubt, a kind of feeling in his mind. Who could marry this physically disabled man? That was his doubt. But he cleared his doubt later. He was hopeful that someone would marry him and he would like to start a family and have children. See? Those are his words. In the same manner, see, he did not propose a girl. A girl called Kane Miara. At the end of text we have her name, his wife. Kane Miara, she proposed him on stage. See, once he was called as a guest faculty, a guest motivator, a speaker. So he was speaking on the stage, he was motivating people around him, in front of him. And as soon as the meeting was over, as soon as the speech was over, a girl called Kana Miara came onto the stage and proposed him, will you marry me? See, very few people we can have in the society with physically disabled people who would get married easily. See, he's a lucky man. Really, he's a lucky man. See, everybody, he and his parents thought that it was a curse by the God, but he has made his curse with a perseverance. Perseverance means you are trying to achieve something, even though we are getting problems, failures. Perseverance, positive thinking, confidence in his activities, belief in his activities, determination, dedication. All these things he has. Yes, I can do. Of course, I don't have legs and arms, but I can do. But what we are doing now? See, at the end of the lesson, he asked us a question. We are physically handicapped people. We may not have legs properly, hand properly. We may have hearing disability, vision disability. See, mentally retarded people, we can't do things properly. But you are a full-fledged man. You have everything properly. You have legs, arms. You are perfectly all right, mentally, physically all right, fit. But what you are doing? Are you doing well? Are you doing great things? He asked the question. The lesson ends with the question. Right? So, the first... yes, next paragraph. We'll continue next paragraph. Water sports are a next only thing. He also plays golf with a club tucked under his chin and is a huge fan of EPL. See, tucked. 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 Water sports is not only Nick's favorite games. That means water sports means here he can swim, but also he can play golf with a club. You see, club means here a heavy stick, not heavy, a stick with one hand heavier than the other hand, which is mostly used in playing the game golf. He can play golf. How could he play game? How could he play? He's not a normal person like us. You see, we play like this. He's not a normal person. He has no legs, no arms. But how could he play? A disabled person, a torso, how could he play? Look at that. He also plays golf with a club. Club means a heavy stick, which is called a golf stick, tucked under his chin, and he is also a huge fan of EPL, like IPL, Indian Premier League. IPL means, yeah, EPL means English Premier League. He puts or he keeps the stick, of course, the club under his chin like this. He can play like this. Tuck means here, put something under. Put something under chin. Put something under. I think it's given. Is it? It's not given. Tuck means here, put or keep something under body parts like chin. Here, you see, we tuck our phone, mobile phones here like this. See? And he is a huge fan of, a great fan of EPL also. English Premier League. Look at it. His parents decided not to send him to a special school. A decision, he said, was very hard for him, but which may have been the best decision they could have made for him. See, when he grew up at a school age, maybe third year or fourth year, Nick's parents decided to send him to a normal school. Yeah, his parents decided not to send him to a special school. They decided to send him to a normal school, mainstream school. Mainstream school, special school. Mainstream school, special school. See, Nick's parents decided not to send him to special school. There are two types of schools in Australia: mainstream, special. Mainstream means here an ordinary school, a normal school where there are no such kind of facilities which are required for physically disabled people. Special school means here it's a school where, or the school which maintains all the necessities or requirements for physically disabled people like Nick Vedic. Do you understand? Mainstream schools means here a school with no proper facilities for physically disabled people. Special school means a school which maintains all the necessary requirements for the physically disabled people. So Nick's parents decided not to send him to a special school, but they strongly decided to send him to a mainstream school. Do you know why? Can you imagine? Can you imagine why could Nick's parents decide to send him to a mainstream school, not to send him to a special school? You could imagine, you can understand. But the decision taken by his parents, what is the decision? Not to send him to a special school, send him to a mainstream school or a normal school. The decision was